Okay, here's where we left the project. We've done one decrease at each shoulder. I've come around the left armhole. I am one stitch short of my marker for my increases. I'm going to do an increase in this stitch, an increase in this stitch, and then I'm going to knit all the way across, and I'm going to repeat it at this marker. I'm going to increase in the stitch before, increase in the stitch after. The type of increase you do will determine how that front row of increases looks. This is the diagonal row of increases that's going to show on the front. So that's your plan. You're going to increase here twice, one on each side of the marker, increase here, one each side of the marker. When you get back to the top, you're going to do your shoulder decrease, and repeat. This is just a continuous repeat. Now, here is what you need to know about shaping your neckline. You have to determine how low you want that neckline to be. For me, I don't like anything touching the back of the neck. I have neck problems, so that's my own personal pet peeve. You will have to determine how high you want that neck to be. Once you decide, you need to decide how many stitches are going to be back neck stitches. You're going to knit around. You're going to do a wrap and turn at the right side of your determined neck stitches. And you're going to come back around. You're going to do your decrease here. You're going to do your 2 increases here, 2 increases, decrease, wrap and turn. And you're going to do that one row. Then you're going to stop 1 or 2 stitches before, do your wrap and turn. Same on the other side. You're shaping your neckline. So I will get this worked up, and when I get done with it, we'll come back and we'll do the next step. Here is another option for you that you need to be aware of. If it is difficult for you to do your increases on the cast on row, and for some people it is, know that you can do one entire circumference like I have done with this one before you start doing your increases. So that's an option for you as well. Okay, I mentioned the short row wrap and turn. If you're comfortable with that, certainly I want you to use it. I do want to show you what I do for a short row return, and let me show you another project I'm working on so you can see how invisible it is. This, remember I said I hate things touching the back of my neck? So this is a contiguous project I'm working on. These are all the short rows, and the only way you can tell it's a short row is the change in the angle. Can you see the change in the angle there? That shows you I did a short row. I've got a whole series of short rows here to curve the back of the neck. To me it's pretty invisible. I think once it's blocked, it's going to pretty much, other than the change in the angle, you're not going to see any holes. I like it really well. So let me show you what I do, because it's a little bit different than what I've seen, or maybe I just haven't seen the video that shows it. When you come to the point where you want to turn, I'm on the right side, slip that stitch, pick up the purl bump, put a stitch through that and put it on the needle. Now I've got this oriented incorrectly. Can you see that? I need to pick it up like this so it's coordinated on the needle the same way that stitch is. Then pass that doubled stitch to the other needle and knit back. And that's how I do my wrap and turn, or my short row return probably is a better way to say it. I have divided my back into, now I am not counting the rib when I say I've divided my back. I've got 21 stitches here. How I ended up with an extra, no clue, don't really care. So I am doing my turn at 1/3 of the way in. That leaves me 1/3 of the stitches for the back of my neck. Let me show you this one. Alright, I'm doing, can you see I'm doing rib here? Can you see I've got two purl, 2 knit, 2 purl, 2 knit. On this one I'm doing a ruffled edge, so I've done 2 rows of stockinette, and then I'm going to do 2x2 rib, which is gonna pucker and ruffle this edge just a tiny bit. That's my hope anyway. So here, can you see that? Here is my corner increase. I did the same stitch that I do for my short row return, only when I come to these I knit them as separate stitches, and when I come to the short row return I knit it as one stitch. So this is what my front corner is going to look like. I'm going to have 1 row of what looks like knit coming down the corner. Whatever you want to do works. I have actually in some cases reserved 8 stitches here for the turn, and I'll do 1 stitch of, I'll do my increase, I'll do 1 stitch of purl, I'll do 6 stitches of knit that I do a cable on, and then another row of purl, or another stitch of purl, and then I'll do my increase. So I'll have a row of cable, twisted cable, for the corner. You can do lace, you can do whatever you want to do here, as long as you get your 2 increases in is fine. If you incorporate the 2 increases in whatever pattern you're doing here on for the increase, whatever you do is fine. I'm going to work a couple of rows. I'm going to do my turn and return here. I'm going to work a couple of rows. I'll work the finish of the ribbing rows, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay. You can see my neck edge is taking shape. Here are the shoulder decreases. They look really nice. The reason I told you in the beginning that your increases should point this way is this reason. Look how nice those look. It looks like a continuation of the front, and as you get higher up on the shoulder, it just looks better and better. I'm getting that little bit of ruffled edge I thought I would get. I'm happy with that. My corner looks really nice. If you don't do magic loop here, and you'll see when we finish the other vest what I'm talking about, this, using the type of increase I do, can have a tendency to be a little snug, a little puckery, so you're going to need to watch that. I don't know what else to tell you about this one. It looks really good. It's on track. I did, I don't know, probably 6 rows of ribbing. I probably could have done 1 less to match that, but I wanted that ruffled edge, and I still wanted enough ribbing for it to look good. So I'm happy with that. Now, here's the one thing I want to, well, there's always something, isn't there? Here's the thing I wanted to talk to you about this. I've got this neckline shaped. It's identical to the other. You can see it's looking really good, but here's the deal. See what we have here? I've done my decrease. You can see my decrease right there. If I do a turn in the next stitch, when I turn around and I come back, I don't have 2 single stitches to do that decrease on the shoulder, which means I'll be doing the decrease on a doubled stitch. don't have a problem with that. That's okay. But here is your solution if you find yourself in that situation. Go ahead and knit past the first turn and make your turn in the next one. I'm going to make my turn right. Focal length is a little off. I'm going to make my turn right here. There it is. And when I come back, now I have the same amount of turns on each side. When I come back, I will be able to do a slip, slip, knit on this one for my shoulder decrease. And I'm off and knitting. The other thing I want to make sure you remember is that we have ribbing going around here, and we're going to be doing the shoulder decrease into the ribbing, so make sure you take that into account for the length of your shoulder, the height of your neck. I'm happy with this. I know I'm going to do that much more ribbing. That's going to give me the size neck I need for the doll I'm knitting for. So at this point I'm going to knit all the way around, so I've taken in all of these short row turns, and then we will start the shaping for the front of the garment. And that's where we're at.